Hey YouTube, Josh Jordan here. So I'm with the Jeep. We're going to do a cold start, and it's very cold this morning, so we're going to let this thing warm up. And I just cleaned the idle air control valve. I had a problem yesterday with it kind of stalling at a stoplight. I'd go take off and it would start to go, and then all of a sudden it would drop all power as if it's going to die basically. And I noticed idle air control valve was a little bit dusty, so I cleaned that up. We're going to give it a shot. So here we go. Let's check it out. It's cold. There's some water vapor going on. Truck's pretty dirty right now, so kind of bear with me on that. But cold start. I took the plates off. As you can remove the plates again. I'm getting new Marine Corps plates put on from getting out of the Marine Corps. The new ones are going to be coming on soon. It does sound a little bit more stable when it's idling. Right now it's idling still at the cold idle, but I don't know if you can see that. It's still pulsating a tiny bit, but definitely not near as much as what it used to. So hopefully that does it. I'm going to take it for a drive, and we're going to see how it does. So, seatbelt first, safety first. I think, right? That's what they say? Oh, I got to get my antenna put on. It's going to fly off if I don't. Okay. There we go. Alright, let's do this. It is going to be cold still, so I'm not going to be flooring it all over the place. I'm going to wait until this thing warms up before I get on it at all. So, right now I've got 242,000 on the odometer, and overall, I think the cost of ownership on these, they're relatively inexpensive. Reason being, Jeep made these in mass production, kind of like VW made the Bug. So parts are really easy for this vehicle. A lot of the parts that are on this Jeep actually cross with other brands of other vehicles, surprisingly. For instance, the manual transmission version of this, the AX15, is actually used in a lot of the GM vehicles of the same time frame. That was my neighbor. So they use a lot of the cross-reference a lot of the part numbers. So when I go to the Jeep, they're like, oh yeah, well that part will fit with this. If we don't have it, you can go to GM and get with this part number, and they'll have the GM part number, which I thought was interesting. But the parts are easy to get. This thing doesn't break that much. I'm actually really surprised with having almost 250,000 miles on it, it's actually relatively inexpensive. Gas mileage, I get, like, I'm still getting on average, I'll flip this around so you guys can see, I'm getting about 17.8. So not the best. I drive very conservative in this thing, mainly because of high mileage, but second because the police around here are really, really picky about if you're going 3 over, they'll pull you over. It's like really bad here. That's Texas for you. But anyway, I take really good care of this thing. I've rebuilt a lot of stuff on this thing so far since I got it from my parents, and so far it's just been great. We're gonna get on the highway in just a minute. I'll have to flip the phone around since I haven't figured out how to make the cameras change while it's video recording. So let's go ahead and get some speed up here. Yeah, this thing it's almost completely warmed up, so I can get on it a little bit. I just have to watch my speed. That's the only thing. You're gonna hear a little bit of wind noise. I've never been able to get rid of the wind noise. It's coming from the passenger side somewhere. I don't know where. I think it's coming from around the windowsill on one of the doors, I think. But ABS light is on currently. The speed sensor is all checked out. I actually had ordered a new speed sensor, and it actually wasn't a speed sensor. All the speed sensors are working fine. So I sent it to another shop, and they're telling me that it's something to do with the wiring from the ABS module to the front 2 speed sensors. The wiring is either shorting somewhere or something like that. Something that I don't want to get into. I don't do with wiring. Wiring and I don't get along. So I basically said, forget it. I'll drive with no ABS. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. But Jeep's running great now. I'm actually really, really happy. We're going to get off the freeway up here in a minute, and this will be kind of the first test to see if the idle air control valve was causing the problem. Because what was happening was I'd come to a stop, and let's say I'm making a right turn, and I would go to take off, make my turn, and all of a sudden, while giving throttle, the car would just start bucking and kicking as if you don't know how to drive stick shift. And you could definitely hear the idle change, but no engine light. No engine light came on. And I let all the way off the accelerator, and I punch it all the way to the floor, and all of a sudden it surges, and off we go. And then it's fine for a week. It's done this a couple times, maybe 3-4 times the whole time I've had it. I've never figured out what it was. I know my battery is starting to go out, and so that's one of the things I know is probably leading towards that. But I'm going to pull over here really quick, actually. Actually, maybe not that driveway, because that's a construction driveway. Let's do this one. I'm going to pull over here, and I'm going to leave it in gear and drive, and I'm just going to come to a stop. I'm going to see what it does. Because before, the idle would get down to pretty low, because you could hear everything inside start vibrating and shaking like it's getting ready to stall, but it never does. And again, no engine light came on, none of that. So I'm going to pull in right here because it's a big parking lot. So it's slightly low. It's definitely higher than it was before. I don't know if you can hear the panels vibrating, partially because, door panels move, typical Jeep problem. But everything looks normal. The idle feels a lot better. I'm going to put it in park. Okay, see how it just fluctuated a little bit? That's kind of what it was doing beforehand. But I'm going to pop the hood. I'm going to show you under the hood. Let's see if it idles any better. I know you may not be able to hear very well because of the engine running and the highway behind us and the noise from the truck, but it sounds pretty steady compared to what it was. Before it kind of had a little bit of a lumpy idle. Now it actually sounds pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Definitely sounds better. In my previous video, I put on there that I got new tires, which are brand new tires. They're not just brand new tires, they're brand new. So I got the little taggy things on the sides and all that. They've got about maybe 200 miles on them so far. Other than that, I mean, that's really about it. I mean, I'm just going to show you a quick inside here. So, rear seats, front seats. A little bit of normal door wear. It's very common on these Grand Cherokees. And my floor mat is a little bit dusty and dirty, so ignore that. But other than that, I mean, it's really not in bad shape at all. And then just like the rear area, I just have my tools and my chains and stuff, because I actually have had to pull a lot of people out recently because of the weather, so I keep all my stuff in there. Other than that, I think that's about it. And this video is about 11 minutes so far, so I think it's about long enough. Anyway, like and subscribe. I'm sure I'm going to come up with some other videos. I'm planning to go out of town next week, so I'll have some videos of me traveling in the Jeep. Jeep and I are going out of town for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so that'll be fun. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.